good to have you on the program.
Thank you for having me on your program.
Congratulations on the successful verification exercise of the defunct staff of NNSL. Can you bring us up to speed on how the union was able to engage the government, how you were able to get to the verification exercise stage, and what will be your expectations from the government moving forward?
Well, I want to thank you and I want to appreciate you for the way and manner you have been carrying our promoting the image of Maritime Workers Union of Nigeria. I want to thank you and your team. Well, the defunct NNSL, it was a sad story in the minds of the family that are affected for almost 30 years ago, where a company that was liquidated and the court judgment was given that the pension and gratuity of the liquidated staff of NNSF should be paid. What they did was to pay them on the terminal benefits. What happened to their pensions for almost 28 years ago? And those are the questions people are asking. Why delay in payments? And there are parameters that you can use in working out their pensions in line with their discharge book. Because there's no way you're going to categorize them with, say, their permanent staff or whatever. Because that discharge book have covered them for being a staff and a worker under the defunct NNSL. So coming on board, I think, as the PG of the union, and I've been hearing the story over the years before I came in on board. And when I came in, I think I have to look at the file properly and make sure that there's need for us to push in for these aged old men that have contributed to seafaring in this country. So I think the story you're hearing now is that, yes, the government, at the end of the day, agreed that there's need for them to carry out physical verifications and for the next of kin as well. So that is the story for now. Because a government, if you don't listen to the people that have paid their dues in this country, who are they going to listen to? Because they have done their best. All seafarers, the way we tag them, they are floating prisoners. People that will abandon their family for 6 years, 6 months, 1 year on the sea. And when is the time for you to pay them their rights? Somebody somewhere here will tell you they are not entitled to this, they are not entitled to that. So I think the union we are doing our best to make sure that the rights of those retirees have been paid.
I want you to reiterate that the matter has been on ground for about 3 decades.
It's about 3 decades. What I'm saying is that 4 or 5 years, I was on top of it. We keep on talking to government, we keep on talking to all relevant stakeholders about this pension in line with the court judgment. That is what I mean. So the matter is almost 30 years that involve these poor workers. They are old enough to be my father. You can see the way some of them are working. They are not working like a human being any longer because the spirit, the soul have gone. And for all of us in government, we should equally remember what is affecting those old men can equally affect some of us if we don't do it right. Because the cane you use in caning me, at least on top of the roof for the junior ones. Yes, that is why we are appealing to them. They should not put the file, they should not carry the file. They should call us on time, otherwise the union will make noise again. Because we make noise for almost 4 or 5 years before they listen to us. Now they are carrying out verifications. There's need for them to call us on time because they want to know the figure. They want to know the amount to be paid to the retirees. So we're on top of the matter. If they felt there's need for them to put it under their carpet, they will see the reaction of the union.
During the verification exercise, I met with the sole survivor of MV River Gorara vessel. And he shared some of his experience with me. As the president of Maritime Workers Union, how would you react to this development?
Well, Adewale was the only surviving seafarer on board MV Gorara. And for the man to stay alive, to witness the verification, you can see him when he was talking, he was crying because I happened to go to his house. I was in his house I visited some of the retirees' houses to find out how they are faring. And if you look at their condition, it's so pathetic. So pathetic in the sense that people who contributed to the seafaring in this country, the floating prisoners that we call them, that they are, cannot be what? Be given their right at the right time. At 93 years of age, the man is still surviving and is still looking unto God, give me my rights. So it's uncalled for government not to have value to people that have paid their dues in this country. You can't try it in other countries. I've never seen where retirees in other African countries or overseas countries carry placards that their pensions and gratuity have not been paid. It can only happen in Nigeria, where we don't celebrate our old people that have done well for this country. The man that contributed to the Nigeria item, or what they call it, a flag or whatever, was it not at the age of 73 years that the government started recognizing him, talking less of people that have traveled worldwide? During the war, you see them there. While the war was going on, it was the seafarers that were able to be on the standby, carrying all these ammunition, supporting the military. But at the end of the day, when they were being retired, their pensions were all denied. So if the likes of Alhaji Lawal can be the only surviving seafarers on board that River Gurara that was sunk, I think government should look inward and make sure that they expedite actions in paying these pensions to all of them.
Recently, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria commissions the Apapa Tinkan Oshodi Oronshoki Expressway. For a while, that road was something that was a case of worry for the union because it was difficult for workers to get to their workplace from their various locations. And for a long while, I'm aware that the union engaged with government. Can you bring us up to speed on how your members are responding to this development?
Well, we want to thank Mr. President for commissioning the road, and at the same time, this goes to the Minister of Works, a workaholic person who have brought in joy into the mind and the faces of stakeholders within the rank and files of Nigeria Port Authority, the stakeholders in the maritime sectors. Well, we thank them, we appreciate them, and you know what you passed through years back when there was a story that you carry out about this road, where the road is not even arbitrary for people to pass. When you're coming from first time, you spend almost 3 to 4 or 5 hours. But today, if I'm coming from my house, first time get to my office, it's just about 10 or 15 minutes drive. Those are the things I'll be talking about. Yeah, there's one thing for you to commission a road. That's another thing for you to maintain that road. Because the way it is now, we've been clamoring, shouting, making noise about the truck taking over the roads. The trucks are not there now. The trucks are not there now. What you are seeing there now is human helmets, where they have turned the place to Market Square. So I want to use this method to talk to management of Nigeria Port Authority, the local government within the Apapa Azi, to make sure that those selling on the road, what's their business selling on the road? Anything can happen to them. It's about maintaining safety. So we thank them. We want them to continue to do more to make sure that all our roads leading to port operations have been okay. And I was in Onne about 3 weeks ago. I saw a lot of projects going on in Onne Port as well. I want to thank the Minister of Works for doing the right thing at the right time. If we have been having people like that in the hands of government, I think our road will be better for all users.
Unemployment in Nigeria, not only just in Nigeria, in Africa, globally, is a big issue. We are aware that the maritime sector is one sector that actually has the capacity to employ people. Can you bring us up to speed on areas in which you think government can actually look into in the sector to ensure that it is more viable?
Well, to me, the unemployment has to be attached to what is going on in this country today. There is marriage of inconvenience between naira and dollars, where the dollars refuse to marry the naira, naira refuse to marry dollars. That is what is going on. And if you look at our sector, it's so peculiar in the sense that the moment there's love lost between the two of them, people will not import again. You go to Tinker Island now, early you see almost 2, 3, 4, 5 vessels for the past 3 or 4 months now. Some of the investors have run away, and it's affecting our sector where some terminal operators, some shipping companies have started reducing their workforce. So if the government can work where that marriage of convenience can happen between the naira and dollar, I think the better for employment you are talking about. Is it not when I'm bringing a vessel into your country or giving you job, you talk of whether employment will come in? Because the vessels that are coming in now, some of them are coming with 3 to 400 TEU, unlike before when they normally come with 2,000, 3,000. So it has reduced drastically as a result of lack of money to import. And at the same time, look at what they are passing through. Electricity has been increased almost 500% increase in our electricity. And they have introduced what they call a band A, band B, band C. So I don't know where the country that's supposed to enjoy free access of electricity. Go to Cameroon here, where they won't give you their light. Go to Ghana here, where they won't give you their light. It's only we that are paying for light here as if we are not citizens. So to me, before employment can come, let the government look inward and make sure that this dollar and naira, this will marry themselves properly so that they can sustain the economy proper. Because if the dollar continues the way it is, I do not think the sector, maritime sector, will continue losing our members in the house of unemployment.
Finally, it's a year that the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu was sworn into office. How would you rate the quality of life of an average Nigerian worker?
Well, average workers under the administration of 1 year of Mr. President today cannot boast of 3 square meal on their table as a result of fuel removal subsidies or what they call it. But today, the way things are, we only congratulate him. We pray that he should do more and make sure that he brought life to Nigerians. To me, where we are today is not where we are about 3 or 4 years ago. Yes, government is a continuity, as they say, but the life that all of us are passing through is uncalled for. And you know, in Nigeria mentality, whatever that goes up doesn't come down in Nigeria, except the aircraft. And sometimes even the aircraft too will normally have problems. But our own, the average people, marketers, have turned our economy to be their own too. They are capitalizing on the dollars. If you want to buy at Arodo now, they will tell you dollars have increased. So what has that got to do with somebody selling pepper and is now attributing it to dollars issues? So I think Mr. President will look inward and make sure that they stabilize this economy proper so that he started very well. I must commend him. I'm not being biased on this matter because if they hand over government to you and you're in government, there's no how you're going to complain that all is not well. But what you need to do is to find solutions. And I think he has been trying his best to make sure that things are being all right. You can see the minimum wage from 40, they are negotiating as if we are pricing a crayfish market, where a bag of rice now is almost 70 or 80,000. An average Nigeria today cannot afford to even buy a bag of rice. Then talk less of the 54 or 45,000 minimum wage. Where are we going? So those are the areas I think the Mr. President should look into. And some of the state governors too are not helping things either. Some of them for the past years, even when you are talking of 30,000 minimum wage, some cannot even afford to pay it. But they have this money. They are the ones sabotaging our collective agreement between the negotiator on behalf of the government and the NLC and TUC. So our own is to make sure that Mr. President should do the needful by way of stabilize this economy. We thank him for doing good, but let him do more. As an administrator himself, he has been a governor for Lagos State, he was a senator. But God has given him this opportunity to make sure that he puts smile into the face of Nigerians.
Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you for calling me.
And that's all we can take on today's edition of the program. Join us next week for a fresh edition of the show. I am Sharon Ijasan. Thanks for watching, and remember that labor creates wealth.